Where is Daki on the tier list? I hear so many different opinions on this, and honestly, when I started making this video, I had no idea where to put her. In large part because I was a terrible Daki. Oh, this neutral! I dash blocked, I'm dead. I'm dead. No! So I reached out to a bunch of wanted players to gather their opinions, and they really shocked me because a good number of them are saying that this character is really strong. Here I was wondering if she was gonna be Yushiro tier or maybe slightly above, but these folks are calling her S tier, unironically. And after labbing with these players for a little bit, I gotta say she's stronger than I give her credit for. And I think you'll be surprised by her place in the tier list just like I was. So let's break it down. Louis was the first one to surprise us with Daki after his performance on the last wanted episode, after winning his set over a roof, defeating not only Enmu, but Susamaru as well. Now, Louis is obviously one of the players that believes she is S tier. But I think after our little session, I may have changed his mind. He will never admit to that, but I think I did. There's a lot that Daki has going for her. Her bigger strengths are her jab and her demon skill. Let's start with the jab. This is the best jab in the game. The lunge sucks. If you tilt the stick and attack, that is way too slow. Forget that button, never use it. Don't touch it. But just the jab on its own, it's even better than Enmu's. Why, you ask? Well, it has the range just like Enmu does, but the difference is if there's an assist on the way, Enmu will drop the combo and Daki will not. Plus, this move also catches jumping opponents, so it doesn't matter if the opponent is straight up dashing at you or faking a dash by jumping or blocking. Daki can just mash if you've got the timing down, and that's really strong. And then her demon skill is the button. Armored move, catches jumping opponents, has incredible range, and it's super safe on block. Of course, it uses a demon bar, but Daki can play it very safe if she has no escapes. However, Louis also thought that Daki had good resets. No surprise there, he did catch a roof during the wanted set with this reset 4 times. The thing is, this isn't a reset, this is a knowledge check. The first time Heliasser tried this same reset on the main card against Faiz, he got parried right away. Now you could just say, well, bait the parry. You can't. The trap comes out slow, so you can parry on reaction to the trap being planted. When Helia tried baiting, Faiz didn't fall for it at all, because he knew what to do in that situation, and that is why this is not a reset, it's a knowledge check. Even this reset that looked really strong. It puts enough distance between you and the opponent. They can still parry the trap, but at least Daki will be safe. But the thing is, you can always mash on this. Daki is in recovery. There is nothing she can do about it. Because you see, even the best Demon Slayer players in the world don't lab the freaking game. That's the sad conclusion I came to after talking to the pros. Everyone's out there giving tech and saying how strong this character is, and no one even tried to counter it in practice mode. I don't blame them. Labbing this game is kind of a pain. There's no recording feature, no settings to make your opponent counterattack after a combo or block. Every time I make a review on a character and I need to lab something, I got 2 controllers on my desk like I'm Portuguese Sakurai or something, and I try to play both characters to see if these resets are true. The other method for labbing is to invite another player through a remote play or parsec and ask them to try some stuff while you try to counter them, or vice versa, and that's what I did with Dryoyard. And as a result, we did find a solid reset for Daki, one that no one is doing so far. With this route, if you time it right, you cannot mash on this skill button. The timing is very hard to get right, but if you're scared you're not gonna get it, you can throw a demon skill instead. It is safe on block, and if the opponent mashes, they're gonna get caught. And yes, you can also place a trap right here. Because the distance and the height is perfect, they cannot mash through it. They can still parry the trap, but that's gonna make it really hard to avoid the grab if the opponent goes for it. And that means that Daki has safe resets, not only with the traps and her demon bars, but with the normal skills as well. Still, with that said, I don't think Daki is a reset character. She can reset, but that shouldn't be her whole game plan. Daki has low damage, absolutely, and when you have low damage, you tend to look for resets. But the low damage on Daki has an upside. Low damage bad, but there's a silver lining, because that means she can go for combos that don't spend a lot of meter. For 1 bar of meter, she can get around 3000 damage, and that's more than most characters can do with that amount of meter. That way, you'll always have meter whenever you want to go for a reset or to control the neutral, which she is very good at. And because she's so good at controlling the neutral, if you're always spending meter on resets, I feel like you're not utilizing the character correctly. She is so dominant in neutral because of that attack button and that demon skill primarily. Those 2 buttons make the character. With all that said, I don't think she's an S tier, and maybe if we talk to Louis again, he'll agree. We showed him some of the weaknesses he didn't even know the character had, but I'm thankful for him showing me some of her strengths as well. But he wasn't the only one. Dryoyard also said she's S tier, and I gotta give it to him that he knows the character really well. But one of the things Dryo really likes about her is that all of her stuff is safe, except for tilt skill. Turns out tilt skill is also safe if you jump cancel it, but only when you do it from up close. For some reason that makes you block for longer. From far away, a well-timed push block guarantees the punish every time. That makes tilt skill not such a great neutral tool, but she's safe on everything else, like her heavy, for example. It's plus on block, except it isn't. Once again, push block to the rescue. But okay, most of her stuff is indeed safe, except the DP. I don't care if you mash it. And because of that, Tryhard says that her pressure is insane. Well, safe and insane are very different things. Here's an example. Daki's down combo recovery is so fast that she can just keep mashing it after the opponent blocks the whole string. 2 of these and it's a guard break. Done. Easy. The problem is the down combo puts you close to the opponent. A well-timed push block can ruin your guard break plans. And this applies not only to this pressure, but most of Daki's stuff. She's either at a distance that cannot be push blocked, but she can't keep pressuring for long, or she has to get close, which means risking it. Now this is still good pressure. Daki is mixing you up, but insane? Well, you are not that safe. Daki's safeness is kind of theoretical, because in practice, someone's gonna randomly push block and mash, and it's gonna work. Now, I think I've said really good things about Daki so far. Maybe I've convinced you that she's not exactly weak. I also pointed out a few downsides, but I haven't gotten to the big weaknesses yet. Let's talk about her grab. Slow startup, okay range, but probably the worst recovery in the entire game. This grab is terrible. Trader puts her at a low B tier because of this and her damage. Also says she can't open you up as reliably as any other A tier characters, but I disagree on that. We talked about her pressure. It's definitely very good. B tier might be a bit too low considering everything we just talked about. I thought that's where she was gonna end up when I started making this video, but now I've seen the light. Takuya says she is an A+ character for a reason we haven't talked about yet. She has insane health regeneration on boost or surge. She heals like Akaza while only having a 1.15 times damage multiplier, and that is definitely an upside. Now, since I don't think she's S tier or B tier, I think we've narrowed it down to the A tiers. Question is, do we go to A+ or do we put her at regular A? And where exactly do we put her? I have a hard time defending that Daki is better than any of the A+ tier characters on this list. I know there's some hot takes on this tier. I know Awakened Nezuko is too high. I know Entertainment District Zenitsu is too low. I know what the community's opinion is on these characters, but I fully stand by my decisions and my placements. I haven't changed my mind yet, except maybe Inosuke. I may have given him too much credit, but I still think he's a top 3 assist in the game right now, and that is worth a lot to me. So I'm gonna place Daki on the A tier, and now I'm having the opposite problem. I don't think she's weaker than anyone on this list, even though when she came out, she looked like a Rui, but worse. I don't think that's the case anymore. The damage is similar, but she has a much better mash. Rui does have the zoning and much better guard break, but I do think that Daki ends up having better neutral than him, and she heals so much more. She's so much harder to kill. The top of A tier is looking very good to me, so that is where I'm placing Daki on the tier list, and I'm honestly surprised by this. I was so ready to put her right next to Yushido and Makomo, but no, these players helped me see the truth. Now, throughout this video, you may not have noticed, but I just gave you a ton of ammunition. I've given you enough arguments to win any discussion on this. If you want to argue that she's low tier, just say her grab sucks, she has low damage, the resets are fake as hell. But if you want to argue that she's S tier, just say she has the best dash in the game, which gives her the best push block punish from any dash attempt and a godlike button with her demon skill. At the end of the day, what determines her place on the tier list is how much weight you give each of these things in a real match. And to me, she's at the top of A tier. Strong, but fair. And that's gonna do it for today. If you disagree with my placement, let me know in the comments where you would put her. And if you agree, don't say anything. It's a YouTube comment section. You trying to be nice? And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye!